Hi guys and welcome back. So I have been in a little bit of a reading slump over the past 2 or 3 weeks or so. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, what happened, why I get into these slumps every now and then, because it does happen, and what I usually do to try and get back out of it. And yeah, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So usually reading a book is like my place to recuperate, to relax, to kind of forget about all the problems in the world and just, get lost in these wonderful, fantastic worlds and stories, and just, try and calm down for a little while. And so that's how I always use the reading in my daily life, not only as a mode of entertainment, but also as a way of calming myself down, a way to, get a little bit distracted from the crazy daily life that is usually going on, right? So the problem with that, though, is that when things get so stressful and when I get so stressed out and so busy that I don't even have any energy more to read, then things just enter this kind of downward spiral and this kind of circle that I feel very difficult to get out of again. And over the past 2-3 weeks, I've gotten into this spiral again, and I'm now working on getting back out of it again. So basically, what happened is just that I work 100%. I also still take classes. I go to school, and it's just been very, very busy over the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, and it's been so stressful to the point that I didn't have at least not even a day off over the last 4 weeks, basically. So I've been working all over the weekends, or I've been at classes at school. So it's just been super stressful to the point where I didn't even have the energy to pick up a book before I fell into bed and went to sleep. And that's really a problem, because I need to read and I need the books to calm myself down, to de-stress. That's always been the mode of relaxation for me that has been very important. And now it's one of these points in my life that it's just I'm so stressed out that I have been having a hard time to read. Because usually what I do, I mean, I always carry a book with me, and no matter where I go, either I have a physical book with me, or I read on my phone or tablet or whatever it may be, right? Or I listen to the audiobook. So I always have something with me. But where I do most of my reading usually is before I go to sleep. So like that last hour and a half before I feel like, okay, I'm tired now, I want to go to bed. That's when I do my reading. Some of it in bed, but I usually start before even getting ready to sleep. So most of my reading is done at the end of the day, which is exactly the time when I want to, calm especially my brain down and forget about everything that happened during the day, to just get rid of all that stress. But when it's to a level that I don't have the energy to pick up the book, I don't have the energy to follow a story, and even when I'm listening to it on the audiobook, when I just find myself keeping about things and issues that happened during the day, and I don't have the energy to follow the story anymore, I listen to 1, 2, 3, 4 chapters, and I forget everything at the same time while I'm listening to it. That's when I know I'm in trouble, right? And that's kind of the situation that I've been in over the last few weeks, which is why I didn't really finish any new books in the last few weeks. So probably the last book that I finished was like 3 weeks ago or something like that, and that's one that I had already started a while ago. And usually I can, like, when I'm really into reading, when I have time and I enjoy it, usually I can do like 2 books a week. And that's enough for me. I know that there are people out there that do 1 or 2 books a day. That's never gonna be me. I'm slow to absorb information. I'm slow to read, and I enjoy my speed. So I'm not worried about that at all. But when it gets to the point where I can't even finish a book anymore, that's when I know I'm in trouble. So what do I do to get out of it? I think, as with anything, first step of solving a problem is realizing you have a problem. So that's great. I'm very well aware that I've had this just stress over the last few weeks. So I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to get out of it. And I think it's two things. One thing is really trying to reduce stress. And actually, the most stressful period has been over now after the last weekend, and it looks like it's gonna get much better over the next few weeks. I'll also have 2 weeks off soon, where I get to travel a little bit, and I have lots of books prepared for that trip. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's one thing that I can do. Sometimes though, that might just not be possible. It's always easy to say, work-life balance, you need to slow down, but let's be honest here, guys. Sometimes that's just not an option. That's just not possible. You may find a solution in the mid to long term, but short term, you can't change everything immediately, right? So you have to make these decisions. And what I then do in the short term, what I've realized helps me, is when I realize I'm at a point where I don't want to pick up a book, I can't absorb information anymore of new stories through audiobooks. What I do is I go back to a story that I know through and through, that I absolutely love, and that I, even when I kind of tap out in the middle of listening to a story, when I tap back into it again, I know exactly where we are in the story. I know, I like this, I like that chapter. Maybe I jump a little bit back and forth between chapters that I like. So right now I'm doing that with The Martian, actually, by Andy Weir. I have some of my favorite chapters in there that I re-listen in the evening, or that I listen to before I go to bed, or even fall asleep to with. And I think that's a great way for me usually to get back into the stories, to get back into the books, is start with audiobooks again, and then listen to stories that you know well, listen to stories that you love, listen to voices that you love, and then, slowly get to a new book, listen to that, and then pick up the physical books back again. So that's kind of my way that I developed over the years to get back out of the spiral again. And I'm now finally back at listening to a new book, a new story again. And I find myself, since yesterday evening, finally, I'm able to follow new chapters and not just having to repeat the same chapters over and over again because I can't remember what happened. So yeah, I think things are looking up, guys, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update, what's happening, why there have not been any new book reviews over the last 2 weeks or so. It's just simply because I haven't finished any books. But we'll get back to that as soon as possible. And yeah, I just wanted to let you know what's up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Thank you.